Right, ladies and gentlemen, the Fulham propaganda well and truly back underway. It's been about a month since I've actually raved about Fulham, and let me tell you, it's been a month too long if I'm honest, because Fulham yet again have got themselves a massive result in the Premier League, a 1-1 draw at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium against Jose Mourinho's Tottenham, and that point does of course now take them to within 2 points of Brighton. They still are 18th in the Premier League, but they do have 2 games in hand over Brighton, so yeah, if they were to even win one of those games, they would go outside of the relegation places, and that is now 5 draws in a row in the Premier League for Fulham. And yeah, I did a video about a week or two going through every single Premier League club and going through one player I think that club should sign, and I said that if Fulham were to get a striker that would, bag instantly, has a bit of pace and has a bit of clinical edge as well in the box, I think that Fulham would be one of the favourites to survive relegation this season. And I purely believe out of those 5 games that they drew in the last month or so, I purely think if they had that striker they would have won a few of those games and would be in a much healthier position in the Premier League table right now. But yeah, overall another fantastic performance from Fulham, and Scott Parker yet again earning plaudits because his team so far this season I think have been extremely underrated if I'm honest, because before a ball was even kicked and even a few games into the season when they took a few batterings to the likes of Arsenal, Aston Villa, etc., I think a lot of people already had the writing on the wall for Fulham, and a lot of people, probably including myself as well, did think that it was probably game over for Fulham already. But yeah, in the last month or two they've really stepped it up, they've really put in some great performances, and one thing that we said about Fulham in the 2018-19 season, of course that really shocking season when they went straight back down to the Championship after spending like over £100 million, one thing they've definitely fixed this time round is they actually look a lot more solid. I think that Tosin the Derby Yo-Yo and Joaquim Anderson are definitely 2 signings that Fulham made in the summer that definitely have gone under the radar. I think the 2 of them, including the fullbacks in Ola Aina and of course Anthony Robinson on the left, 2 very young and promising fullbacks. I think that Fulham's back 4 and Areola in goal, who was forced to make a few good saves today for Fulham, I think that back 5 is actually looking really solid and has been very underrated this season so far if I'm honest. But yeah, overall I think that Scott Parker played his cards absolutely perfectly in this one, and I think that the game went exactly how he planned, because I firmly believe that he had Ademola Lookman on the bench so that if Fulham were of course still in the game by minute 60, minute 70, he had a bit of pace, because then of course Spurs, when they went 1-0 up, were obviously going to go for the rest of the game and try and kill off the game, get that second goal, and yeah, then when Fulham actually equalised, they played perfectly into Scott Parker's hands, because Spurs then had no choice but to go forward and Ademola Lookman, as well as the likes of Ivan Cavallero and of course Ruben Loftus-Cheek, even Bobby De Cordova-Reid, who do have that bit of pace on the counter-attack, and obviously Fulham didn't win the game, but I think that Fulham had a few good chances to win the game, and yeah, I think that Scott Parker managed this game absolutely perfectly. I'm going to take the time to talk about Tottenham really quickly though, because of course, as much as I want to rave about Fulham in this video, I am going to have to look at Spurs as well, because of course they were involved in this game, and to be honest, Spurs, they just do lack creativity. That is the title of this video. I think they do lack creativity. Now of course they do have Tanguy Ndombele, and he's a very good player in terms of being able to break the lines. He's a very good player in terms of breaking from midfield, and obviously his dribbling is very strong. He does have that clinical edge in terms of passing as well, but overall I feel like Spurs, they're lacking that kind of playmaker in midfield, like someone like Marcel Sabitzer, as I said in that video a few weeks ago as well, in every Premier League club the transfer they should make. I think Sabitzer would be absolutely perfect for Spurs, because not only is he a Mourinho-esque midfielder in terms of the fact that he has a great work ethic in midfield, I also think he's a very creative midfielder as well, and would offer a lot off the shoulders of Tanguy Ndombele, who at this moment in time in midfield is probably relied upon as the creative edge in that midfield, even though I don't think he's completely that. And to be honest, I think it says a lot about how Tottenham are playing, not only tonight but in recent weeks as well, because if you look at Heung-min Son and Harry Kane, I know Kane did get on the score sheet tonight, but if you look at Kane and Son's positioning, they're actually doing just as much defensively as they are offensively, and obviously that is a very good thing, because you do want all your 11 players to actually help out defensively. But I think it can be seen as a bit of a worrying sign for Tottenham as well, because as I said, Kane and Son, even though they are getting the goals, they are getting the goal contributions overall, they are doing a lot of work defensively more than offensively, and you could actually argue that they're actually more effective defensively than offensively right now, which is very worrying for the standard of players that they do have in Kane and Son. I think Toby Alderweireld though was a massive miss for Spurs tonight. Obviously I don't know why he wasn't playing, but he was on the bench. They did have Davinson Sanchez and Eric Dyer at centre back, and I think Eric Dyer, he's not the best of centre backs naturally, so I think he does need that type of natural centre back who is a very good leader as well in Toby Alderweireld next to him, because Davinson Sanchez, since he's come to Spurs, he's really flattered to deceive, hasn't he? And yeah, but yeah, obviously Spurs did take the lead midway through the first half. An absolute peach of a ball from Sergio Reguilon, who is proving to be one of Spurs' best signings this summer, if not probably their best signing this summer, because he looks to be one of the best left backs in the Premier League at this moment in time, and he definitely looks money well spent from Real Madrid. I think he cost around £20 million, and a very good header from Harry Kane into the corner as well, and then Fulham's goal as well, a very good ball in from Ademola Lookman. So 2 goals that were scored from really good crossing, if I'm being perfectly honest, and a very good header once again from Ivan Cavallero to bring the score back onto level terms. And yeah, overall, to be honest, I think it was actually a pretty fair result, because I do think that both sides had their chances. I think that Spurs had their few chances here and there. I think Heung-min Son was very unlucky not to score. He hit the post in the second half. Fulham, of course, themselves, though, did have a few good chances themselves. I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek was very unlucky with a chance that he should have probably put away, and overall, it's very disappointing to see Loftus-Cheek how he's doing at Fulham, if I'm honest, because, let's be honest, it hasn't really clicked for him whatsoever there, and it's really sad to see. He did get himself there and thereabouts tonight, but overall, I think it was another kind of, lackluster performance from Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and it hasn't happened for him so far at Fulham, as I said, and it's really sad to see because after that injury he did sustain in pre-season in 2019, he just hasn't been the same player whatsoever. In 2018-19, I actually thought he was going to be one of our most important players for years to come. It doesn't look like he's ever going to play for Chelsea Football Club again, especially in the Premier League, which is really sad for me to say, but look, that's how the cookie crumbles, I suppose. But yeah, overall, in conclusion, a very, very good point for Fulham because, as I said a few times on this channel now, I actually do reckon that Fulham have a very, very good chance at survival, and I do think that, there's definitely 3 teams at this moment in time in the Premier League that are worse than them because obviously Sheffield United, even though they got their first win in the Premier League last night, they're still miles behind Fulham in terms of, standard of play and also, the points tally, obviously. I think West Brom are miles behind Fulham at this moment in time. I would probably consider Newcastle below Fulham at this moment in time as well, and I'd say that Fulham are probably on par with Brighton at this moment in time as well, so it is shaping up for a very, very interesting relegation battle. I mean, we know how good the title race has been so far between the likes of Liverpool, United, Man City, etc. But the relegation battle thus far is actually shaping up to be really, really interesting as well, and I'm very, very interested to see if this Fulham team can make that survival bid and can actually survive in the Premier League this season, because I think they have a very, very good chance to, and it's results like this which will be absolutely important at the end of the season. And yeah, of course, as you can see, I am a Chelsea fan, and yeah, we do play Fulham at 5:30 on Saturday in that West London derby, which is going to be very, very interesting, especially with the form that we have been on. And yeah, if I'm honest, seeing the performance like that from Fulham, it does make me very, very nervous, especially with the fact that, Frank Lampard's job is massively on the line, and I do think if we lose to Fulham on Saturday, he probably will be sacked, so it should be a very, very interesting occasion. But yeah, I think that's where we're going to leave this video, so if you did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like. 20 likes as per usual would be massively appreciated by myself, and also if you could subscribe to the channel as well, that'd be massively appreciated because we are going now for 1,300 subscribers as soon as we possibly can. So if you could subscribe to the channel, it costs you absolutely nothing and makes my day, so it is very much a win-win situation. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. See ya.